And we're back. It's been a couple weeks. We were out in Colorado. I got Glenn and Morgan with me.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, Morgan, that's not how you're supposed to introduce yourself.
Meow.
That wasn't even a good one. But she thinks she's the cat's meow or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny. She doesn't like to talk on recording, but she loves to talk if she's not being recorded, which is kind of strange.
Anyways, we had a good week out in Colorado. Had you ever been to Colorado, Morgan?
No, I've been to Loveland, Colorado, but never to the OTC, which was a pretty awesome experience. My roommate was Sam Turnbull, now Lower, and she's been in the weightlifting community for a long time. So it was really nice to kind of have a veteran by my side.
I'm sure that was just a rolling good time. Did you guys have 3 people in your room?
No, we only had 2.
That was me. I showed up and we were checking in, and I was kind of making a joke. I was like, oh, do I get my own room this time? To the chick at the front desk. And she was like fumbling around with papers for about 10 minutes. And then she proceeds to tell me, no, you're going to be in a room with 2 other people, actually. Which, I don't know. At first, I was like, holy shit, that sucks. But, to be honest, it was Anthony Pomponio and Caleb Williams. They're 2 super laid-back dudes. Yeah, couldn't have been a better situation with 3 people in a room, but that's a lot of man in a 10 by 10 room.
Well, you guys are 85s, and Caleb's a 69. It's not like you had 3 super heavies in there.
Well, still a lot of stuff. I don't know. I mean, it's like a dorm room. We were staying out in Building 87, which is
the worst building.
Well, I mean, whatever. It was free and it was a good time, but it is the worst building at the OTC. But it's really not all that bad. It's clean and everything. They're redoing the carpet, all that kind of stuff.
The problem is it's like a 40-minute hike down to the cafeteria.
Oh,
maybe 45.
Quit your bitching. It ain't that bad.
Yeah, you're such a baby.
And it was only on the 3rd floor.
Even worse.
Yeah.
So terrible.
I thought about turning around and leaving, just because of that.
You could sleep in the chair. That would have been good.
They did have a chair in the right above the cafeteria that was very, very comfortable. I caught a nap in that chair a couple times between breakfast and 10:30 training. I wish I could have brought that chair back. It was a very, very comfortable chair. Anyways, what did you guys think of the training and the setup out there?
Well, basically, I mean, the training's not too far different, to be honest. They train twice a day as well. We train at 11 and 4. They train at 10:30 and 4 Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And we train at 11 Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. They train at 10:30 Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So, schedule pretty much the same.
But
now,
you had to get up, though, for stretching and everything at 8 o'clock in the morning, which I
that
thought
was
was
optional.
Going to be a major problem.
I wouldn't do that on a regular basis. But yeah, Zygmunt he's super excited. So I think Morgan liked the little yoga routine.
He's especially excited at 8 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
which is strange, but he's ready to go at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. I really, really liked it. I thought it was good to kind of get the blood flowing, then going to eat, which I usually don't eat before our 11 a.m. training practice.
Because you get up at 10:40?
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
Give or take. So I think that actually helped my training, getting up earlier. Plus the air was awesome. I really liked it.
There was not enough of it. That's the only problem.
No, you're just being such a baby.
Well, no, it's at altitude, so you get out of breath way, way easier.
No, we're in weightlifting. Come on.
We get out of breath way, way easier.
No, it's not like
Yeah.
cardio. But
You could tell. You got to admit, you could tell the difference, though.
like the first day.
Oh, whatever.
So, well, when you are adjusting to altitude, there's a little bit of a difference. I mean, in weightlifting, you're not doing a ton of moving around. So we're getting ready for competition. We're doing only singles. Some sets 5 in the back squat, but that's like the high end of our rep scheme, right? So Wasn't too bad adjusting, but I was getting a little lightheaded that first day.
Yeah. I didn't get lightheaded or anything. I just was breathing harder after going up the stairs or whatever than I normally would. That's for sure.
Yeah, and Travis told me that I could get altitude sickness, and so I started drinking a ton of water, probably like 2 gallons a day, but I think it actually ended up
I don't
helping.
think 5,000 feet will give you altitude sickness.
Well, I usually believe whatever Travis says. It's probably not a good thing, but, learning that.
The things I'm going to come up with now.
Yeah, exactly.
This has a lot of potential. But training was good. I mean, sometimes you get numb to the environment you're in. We have an awesome team here. Some of the heavier guys here, Tom and Caleb, are routinely working with 180 to 200 kilos in the clean. James is an awesome snatcher. I mean, he's getting pretty damn good at the clean too, but he's in the 40s pretty often as a 77, and we got a lot of people snatching 40. But when you're there with the world team, I mean, that's a whole nother level, and it's motivating.
Yeah, I think it's motivating just to be with a different group. I mean, that's a big part of it.
Yeah, it's more the change than like how good the people actually are. You kind of get tired of like impressing the same people over and over and over.
Yeah, you do it so often, Travis. I can see how to get old.
All right, dickhead. But no, I mean, like the first week I was here, it was a new group of people. I've been training on my own some, and then with it was just me and Jake for like the last year, Jake Rubesh for like the last year I was in Atlanta. And so being able to train that first week here was huge. I think I hit like a PR push press. I did 150 from the hang for 2 because I was so freaking amped up just being in a new environment. And I was kind of able to replicate that a little bit there. I didn't do anything as crazy, but I still had some PRs, and so did Morgan.
Yeah, you snatched 155 off blocks, which you've done off the floor but never off blocks. So I thought that was actually a big step. You hit a couple of jerk PRs, which the jerk has been the lift that you're more likely to miss in competition in the clean, and so it was nice to get a couple extra kilos on the jerk. And then you made another jerk PR the first couple of days after you came back here, so you significantly improved your jerk. Morgan, what PRs did you hit?
I think I hit a PR power snatch at 67.
Mm-hmm.
A PR jerk off the blocks at 95. I did back squat 120 for 3, which about 4 or 5 months ago, that was my max back squat. So that was pretty awesome. I was trying to go for 5, but I was a little tired after the long week. And, I hit 65 snatch for 2 off the blocks, 85 for 2 off the blocks for a clean, and 75 kilo snatch off the blocks. Yeah.
Correct.
So it was a pretty good day.
Well, that wasn't all in one day.
Sure it was.
No.
From what I remember, it was just one long day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what I've been to the OTC a few times, and what I always really think it's really awesome, like the first 3 days, and then it kind of feels like a college dormitory again. The cafeteria, the food is really, it's great to get up and go eat and not have to cook, but then again, after 2 or 3 days, it all kind of seems the same.
Well, I have to say the same cook, Flower, she was making our eggs, and that's awesome when you wake up in the morning, somebody makes you eggs and bacon, or not really bacon, but eggs with cheese and ham, whatever you want in there.
Well, the bacon was good for like the first 3 days, and then they proceeded to begin to burn it. Like the last 3 days, the bacon was super crispy.
All right, but I didn't have to cook it, so that was pretty freaking awesome.
Well, I'm picky about bacon.
Lord.
He was breathing hard. The bacon was burnt. By Wednesday, things are just going downhill.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Burnt bacon and thin air. It's a bad combination.
But Morgan was all pissy. She would, hit a PR and then bitch about it, and then all the girls would get pissed off, because they weren't hitting PRs, so that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'd say you pissed a lot of people off while you were up there, Morgan.
I'm a really nice person. I knew that I could do better. And then Zygmunt told me that my power clean of 85 didn't actually count. And
Well, that was complete bullshit.
yeah. So in that video, I think my face kind of shows it that I'm not sure if I made it or not.
You made it.
But you should be happy with your PRs. They take a lot of work, so everybody's going to get frustrated if you're the one hitting PRs and you're complaining about it.
Yeah,
there's nothing worse than somebody hitting PRs and then bitching about it. Like, you haven't PR'd in like 4 weeks or something. I'll agree. I think those girls are right on to be mad at you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Travis told me a couple times to get a hold of myself. But I know I have the potential to do a lot better, so I think it's kind of just a stepping stone for me. So I don't really celebrate too much on PRs.
That's about as much arrogance as I've heard in one sentence in a long time.
Damn.
The sport of perfection.
Yeah, we had a little meet at the end of the week, which we had competed the Saturday before, and then we didn't back off at all that week, so we were pretty tanked. But a lot of people did good, and it was good to see how the world team is looking. And I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, Morgan actually PR'd her total at that meet. She only made 3 lifts, but she did make a PR total. We started pretty high. Pretty high just based on what she'd done throughout the week. Wanted to give her a good shot at making some type of PR in the meet, but totaled 164. That's a big total for her. Previous best was 161. She actually made the world team with a 156, so it's a reasonable amount of progress in a few weeks, definitely. And Travis, you made, 3 lifts, 2?
I made 3.
Yeah. But obviously I think at year 11, as long as you've been training, it's harder to recover from PR lifts, and you were definitely not 100% by the end of the week.
Yeah, I made 145 on my opener. Had a fluke miss at 150 on the first attempt at it. Second one wasn't even close, but and 150 is like the highest I've ever made in a competition, so it would have been nice to do it again, but and then I made 186. So it was 1 kilo more than I had done the week before in our competition here. And just considering that I didn't back off at all, like coming back from Australia, I was a little out of shape, and not in terms of like the absolute numbers I was doing, but I wasn't training as often, so I don't have the same work capacity. So the 2 weeks after coming back from Australia, I've tried to do a lot more like volume, just get back into it. And so I was just tanked. After hitting those PRs, I was absolutely exhausted. I actually missed my last warm-up in each lift at the competition we had at the OTC. So
yeah, and I think you had a little trouble timing your lifts too, because they're kind of loose with the rules. No competitions up there as far as trying to not make people follow themselves and run it smoothly. So it was a little different experience.
I was a little stressed out because you're loading Morgan's weight and you're like, hey, isn't this like 62? And it's like 71. And I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
Changing the weights back there.
I was trying to watch her and, Samantha Lower, and I got screwed up several times on loading weights, which doesn't happen normally. I would hope, but yeah, it all was good in the end.
Yeah.
Samantha went for PRs too, and she actually made, I think, a PR clean and jerk.
Clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good. She's got great technique, so.
Yeah, her technique is insane. It's just, I feel like it's so, what's the word?
She does it the same every time.
Yeah. What's that word?
Consistent.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
You're welcome.
Meow.
But no, I'm happy to be back. Like when you're in that situation, I guess the one thing that I realized, I lived at the OTC when I was younger, and it was awesome. I enjoyed it when I was there. But one thing you kind of realize is that at this point, being an older lifter, I'm 25 now. Everybody there's like 18, 19, 20. There's a couple over 20. Like Donovan's 23, but that's kind of the upper end. You don't have as much freedom. When you're going through that college period of time, when you're college age, it's fun to live on campus at the OTC. You get that free food and someone's cooking for you. You get your room. you don't mind not having a kitchen or a super clean room, but
Or living with a roommate in one small room.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I live with James and Stephanie, but they just bought a new house, so we have, like, plenty of space now. It's great.
Well, you have your own bedroom and
Yeah, my own bedroom. I have my car here. A lot of those people don't even have cars. I mean, that'd be impossible for me to live like that. I just feel like you're kind of cooped up there. And, like, I feel like the good thing about our team is we're a little older, so people have more freedom.
yeah, I think when you're 18, you kind of expect that sort of life. It's easy to adapt to it. It's much harder when you're 25 or older, something like that. Which is probably why previous times I've been there in this time, after 2 or 3 days, I'm like, let me out of here, because the whole no car thing is a pain in the ass and not having any privacy, and things like that. I think kind of affects you more as you get older. But the training was fun. It was fun to train with a different group of people. We kind of did our own program, and watched what everybody else did. And it's a nice thing to watch people doing something different. You definitely pick up some new ideas and things like that. But it was nice that we were able to continue doing the program that we're all used to, this close to Worlds and things like that. And it was definitely a nice change of pace.
But, I mean, how much different is the training, really? I mean, they do their squats Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and they do some SOTS presses and some no-hook grip snatches on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, we do no-hook grip snatches. I actually think for a couple lifters here, we may start doing some SOTS presses. I mean, we've done them before. It doesn't seem to be a benefit to some. In fact, it seems to be a negative for some people, but I definitely think there's a couple of people on our team that could use that. But yeah, it's not the biggest difference that the OTC does from what we do is they do 2 or 3 different snatch exercises in the morning, and then they do multiple, 2 or 3 different clean and jerk exercises in the evening, which we do snatch and clean and jerk in the morning and snatch and clean and jerk in the evening. But, I think the overall volume is similar because we only do 1 or 2 exercises for each workout. So just a little bit different way of approaching it. I think, for snatch only in the morning and clean and jerk only in the afternoon, it's really probably more necessary to wake up earlier, get some stretching and warming up in earlier than the first workout so that you're actually ready to go and can lift max weights during the 10:30 or 11 o'clock workout. And since we don't do that, we don't do an early morning warm-up stretch session. Doing both exercises heavy in the afternoon works better for us.
No, I guess one thing that was a little different is, or not really different, but we did see a few different jerk variations. So Morgan's going to start doing a couple of those. So you want to talk about those, Morgan, like some things that you picked up on jerk footwork or?
Well, I think my biggest problem is my back foot is usually really, really straight, and I don't get
Your back leg is straight.
Well, and my back foot. It's completely flat on the ground.
Not usually, but the biggest thing is the back leg is straight.
All right, well, that too.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
It goes out too far, and the leg is too straight. The knee's not bent enough. So
yeah,
there's a couple of things that we're gonna incorporate a little bit. In fact, did this morning already to help fix that.
Yeah, it's definitely helping. I think. I really can't. My problem is I don't have the feeling in my legs, that sounds really weird, to know where they are after I jerk. Like, I can't feel if my back leg is straight or not. So I think just kind of becoming more aware, maybe getting different cues, will help me.
That is really strange.
I know. I don't understand it, but
nobody does.
Nobody understands me.
Oh, it's funny because when you do the jerk correctly, it's really good. I mean, you have the right flexibility in your shoulders, the bar's in a good spot, looks really, really solid, but then all of a sudden you'll go back to some strange, unusual configuration when you catch the bar and it doesn't work very well. So,
one thing that I'm not sure how good this actually works or what exactly it does, because my issue is not the footwork, it's just the overhead, so doing this wouldn't really help me. But they do an exercise where they put the bar on their back like they're doing a back squat, like a high bar back squat, top of the neck. And they dip, but instead of driving, they just split into their split position. So they kind of overload that exercise where they're in the jerk racks, they pick it up with more than they can jerk or a similar weight, and they dip, pause, and then they go to their split immediately. And that's kind of an interesting exercise if your problem is footwork.
Yeah, you were saying you thought it would be really hard on your hips, and I really don't know. I guess it's something we could try. The good thing is, though, you definitely practice your footwork and practice, stopping yourself in the correct position with more weight than you can jerk, and I could see how that could be a positive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think for me personally it would help just because that's not my issue. I'm very strong in the footwork. It's just overhead, like keeping my elbows locked out and pushing up. So I need just more reps in the jerk just to feel the weight overhead. But for someone like Morghan, maybe who footwork is the issue, holding the weight overhead if it's in the correct position is not an issue. Maybe an exercise like that would be good. So hopefully you guys out there understand what the hell I was explaining, because it's kind of an odd thing to explain in words without a picture.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that maybe that's something we'll try. I think for the start, we're just practicing the position with light weights. And by number one, just putting marks on the floor, and we've done this before quite a bit, but just putting the reps in with marks on the floor and a light weight and trying to put the feet, exactly where they're supposed to be. The other one is, you do the split, or you do the dip and drive kind of in a half split, where your front foot is where it should be on the dip and drive, and your back foot is where it should be on the catch. So it's kind of a half split, and you split under simply by driving your front foot forward. Leave your back foot where it is, drive your front foot forward to push yourself out in front of the bar. And I think, especially with Morghan, she's got a habit of not moving her front foot enough, but moving her back foot too much. Practicing that, which of course makes you, as you split into the bar, you move your front foot correctly, but don't move your back foot at all. I think that definitely has potential to carry over into a correct split. So it'll be interesting. We're just going to work on those two things, and maybe we'll try the split with the bar on your back after we've done the other two a few times. I wouldn't want to injure her a week and a half before Worlds.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these exercises are not something that you want to, like, so the people at the OTC have been doing this with Zygmunt for a while, so they didn't start out with more than they were jerking on these exercises. They started out slow, 50 kilos, let their body adapt to the stresses of the particular exercise, and then went from there. So I think some of these exercises are kind of dangerous if you're not used to them.
Yeah. Zygmunt does have like the opposite coaching philosophy as say, Abagiev or somebody, where the object is to narrow the focus down to the competitive lifts predominantly. Zygmunt uses a large variety of exercises that are similar to the clean and jerk, but they're not the clean and jerk or the snatch, and to build the snatch and clean and jerk. And so it's nice to see that and how he does it, because it is significantly different than how most coaches do it.
He did get kind of pissed off at me though, because I was listening to music. I got these wireless headphones. Somebody had posted something on Pendlay forum about what kind of headphones to use for training, and Jason Bourgeois, my buddy, had posted about these Jaybird headphones. They're Bluetooth headphones that work like 30 feet. They're amazing. I mean, they're like game changer, my gosh. But I was wearing these things, and Zygmunt comes over, and I can't hear a thing when I got these things in my ears, so he asked me something, and I just shrugged and said, I don't know. And then he goes over to Glenn, he's like, what'd he say?
He's like, what is this? What is this? That's not training. That's crap. And then he does this little motion where he's like dropping the headphones and drop kicking them, across the room. And he just walks away like shaking his head. It's not training. It's bad,
Come on, guy.
Come on, guy. Yeah. So he was not happy with Travis wearing headphones, and they don't listen to music or anything.
Well, I hadn't snatched 150 in a while, and I snatched 150, so I think like the headphones they played a role. They helped.
Yeah, I mean, if you're used to training with music, I personally don't see any problem with it. If you're not used to training with music, it could screw you up. But once you're accustomed to it and you're concentrating even with the radio on, I don't see a problem.
I don't listen to them like every training session, but
or every lift.
Yeah. So it's not like I can't physically live without them. I just thought it was really funny because he was really, really passionate about it. He thought I was the devil for listening to music during training. So
yeah, well, everybody has their ideas. I thought the funny thing was when people were talking too much and he kind of got pissed off because it was too much talking.
I think there were so many people in the gym. He was like, first rule of weightlifting, no talking.
No talking. He several times every session he kind of told everyone to shut up. So
I think that was mostly the females.
Yeah, definitely. Probably mostly Morgan, actually.
How rude.
You're very shrill sometimes.
Whatever. But I think the headphone incident was about the same day when we had the straps on. We were using straps. So I think before that he had freaked out on me for using straps. And then the headphone came after that.
Well, the difference is that I was snatching without straps up to 140 every morning. And then I was snatching with straps in the afternoon. And the difference in their program is they only snatch one time a day. So I think he just wasn't paying attention to that fact.
Well, a lot of the lifters up there that live there do, like, if they do go from the hang or do doubles or they use straps when they're pulling from the floor for singles, they don't use straps, which, because they do 2 or 3 different exercises at one time or during the same training session for snatch, I mean, they're using them on some exercises, not using them on others. But the way Travis does it, he just doesn't use them in the morning and then he uses them in the afternoon. So it's kind of the same idea. It's just a little different.
Yeah, I mean, you should have seen my hands. Like, they're just one big scab at this point because the air is dry down there, so there's an adjustment period. Like, we're used to a lot of humidity here. And
yeah, it screws up your hands.
When you go over to Colorado, well, first of all, during the meet we had here, that Saturday before we left, we had the most gnarly bar in the world.
I wouldn't say the most in the world.
Well, it tore my hands up to begin with, so then going from humidity to no humidity, first day, my hands were screwed. Like, yeah, they were one huge scab. So Glenn finally bought some bag balm. They said that's for cow nipples.
Yeah, it works great on nipples.
Oh,
but it also works on your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but basically, yeah, I mean, it's like super strong, so my hands are feeling pretty good now. That worked wonders.
Worked well with Morgan, too.
It did.
Her hands.
My hands, not my nipples. No.
Jeez, creeper.
Yeah.
So funny story. We're sitting in the airplane,
Oh, God.
and and the lady, the lady's talking about the life vest, and she's like, if you crash in, you don't want to inflate your life vest when before you exit the plane, because if you dive into the ocean and then you inflate your life vest, you're gonna float to the top. So I said something to Morgan, and I was like, yeah, you don't want to inflate your life vest before you leave the plane, because then you'll float to the top. That'd be pretty funny. And she's like, did you think that those were filled with helium? Helium? Because she wasn't thinking about the water, so she thought that she was making fun of me because she thought that I thought they were filled with helium and people were just going to float away. I'm like, you would need a lot more helium than that.
Okay, first of all, he never ever said any part of water in what he was talking about. So I thought we were still in the air when someone was going to do that. So then I thought he was really stupid. And then we were just dying laughing at 2 different things.
You guys seem to think that's a hell of a lot funnier than I do.
That's because you weren't invited into the conversation that we were having on the plane. And you were just sad.
I wasn't sad.
You were a little sad.
We were in this brand new airplane. And And it was awesome, really. Like, his first airplane, I've heard that airplanes are supposed to have USB ports and outlets from now on, but I've never actually seen one that had them. So this airplane had an outlet at every seat, and it also had a TV with, ESPN, movies.
Mine didn't work.
You wanted. Yeah, Glenn like pressed his power button weird, and so he like.
How do you know it was my fault?
He couldn't figure out how to turn it back on, so he's like poking the seat, like he keeps poking the seat, and the lady in front of him was getting just fucking pissed. But like, she's so nice, she doesn't say anything, but he keeps poking it, swiping it, pressing every button, and I'm just sitting there laughing. Cause
well, no matter what I did, I couldn't watch TV. The screen wouldn't work.
I know, but if you try it 5 or 6 times and it doesn't work, I mean, it's just over. Just your TV doesn't work.
User error, I think.
Well, that was bullshit. Everybody else in the airplane was watching a movie, watching this, watching that, and I'm sitting there going, what the hell? I should have got a discount for my flight or something.
Maybe it was just bad karma.
I have no reason to have bad karma.
But you know what? I did, speaking of freebies, remember when we took United to Australia?
Yeah.
I got $100 for that flight.
Yeah.
Because there was a huge delay. There was like a 4-hour delay because of whatever reason. We were sitting at the gate for 4 hours.
They said they were changing the batteries.
Yeah, changing the tires and the batteries, which, I mean, of course they have to change the tires, but that's kind of like a bizarre thing to be doing after you load the plane, I think.
That forced us to be sitting on that plane for like 18 or 19 hours.
Yeah. But anyways, go to United/appreciation because you do get $100 for that.
Good to know. Well, the guy that was sitting next to us said he got like $400. Now I'm pissed off.
He didn't get $400 for that flight.
Well, for a other flight.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, we're training for Worlds, so we're gonna get James on here later on in the week, and then we're probably gonna disappear for a couple more weeks, just because we're gonna be concentrating on Worlds, and we don't want to be distracted with other things. So,
and we'll be in Poland for a while.
Yeah, and we don't want to be distracted with this while we're in Poland, and so keep watching out for the videos. Tweet us at WLiftingScoop if you have any questions, and you guys got anything?
I have nothing.
I'm awesome.
So,
you should have just meowed.
Okay. But, so the news came here, CN2, so check that out on Facebook. So I now have a legitimate reason to say, watch my pelvis, because they zoomed in on my dick pretty good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they did.
Holy crap.
It's super
That's like
awkward.
a 30-second segment.
I was getting text messages from people and like Facebook messages like, oh my god, I get like before I even saw the thing. I'm like, what's going on? So I finally see it, and yeah. So anyways, I tried to make a joke out of it and said, hey everybody, hashtag watch my pelvis. So
yeah. It was funny. It was funny. It was funny. It was a good little segment though, actually.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, guys, we'll be back later on in the week with James, so keep a lookout.